Welcome to Being Friends with Jess and Tony Ann, an inside look at our friendship, millennial things, sports, and pop culture. Come laugh with us, or maybe at us, and let's be friends.
Alrighty.
Hello, everyone.
It's a mundane day.
Mundane Monday.
Was that like good use of that word?
Yeah, you don't usually use that word.
I know, but it came to me and I just said it, and then I was like, I was hope that it was in the right context.
Well, I'm thinking now it's too much of a coincidence that it sounds like Monday. It has nothing to do with the day of the week, I don't think, right?
No, I don't think so.
But like it's just a coincidence that it's with like the most boring day of the week. It sounds like it.
Right.
But it probably
Maybe
has some Latin
that's probably why I
term.
thought that I didn't use it in the right terms.
No, you used it correctly. It was a mundane Monday. Nothing new happened, really. Isn't that what you meant?
I mean, yeah, like I just meant like I feel like, we'll talk about how we feel. It's gonna be all about our feelings today.
Oh, this is gonna be a ride. But yeah, so welcome back, everyone.
What are you drinking to soak your sorrows away?
So for the road, for one more pod, I broke out a Mets cup.
I should have did that.
It's like an insulated mug.
Oh, that's cool. Where'd you get that one?
I actually think it's like it might be a Yeti. I think I got this as a gift from someone. I'm not sure who. Was it you?
That's a good gift for you. No,
you got me the wine one at one point. You or Melissa. Either way, I'm drinking an iced Irish coffee. I had a little bit of Bailey's in my fridge and I have no idea where I got it. Well, I guess, okay, it's not really Irish coffee because it's not Jameson. It's just iced coffee with some Bailey's.
So you don't like Bailey's?
I usually don't, but I think this Bailey's was like really old because I don't know when I would have had Bailey's in my fridge from, and it was like a little bottle.
Oh.
I think it was from literally last winter when I went up to Vermont, and my cousins like to bring Bailey's like on the mountain sometimes, and like they might have had a little bit of leftovers, and they were like, "Who's gonna take this home?" And I just threw it in my bag. So I mean, it's fine. I didn't really feel like making like a whole cocktail, so I'm like, I could go for some coffee and I'll throw some Bailey's in it.
There you go. I have wine and a big old glass of it.
Oh, I love that glass.
I know, me too. I am this is the last day that I could drink the box wine because I actually wrote the date on it when I opened it this time so that I would remember when it goes bad. So today's the day, so I just poured as much as I could. And
does it still taste good though?
I didn't try it.
Oh, okay.
Tastes good enough, but it's definitely on its way out.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, cheers.
Good enough to drink.
Cheers to us and being miserable.
Right. Okay, here's the thing though. I don't feel as miserable as I should. I just feel like sad. Like I feel sad.
I feel like I went through the 5 stages of grief all within the last like 24 hours.
Right. Like I feel like I'm not let down. Like in no way, shape, or form do I feel let down or disappointed other than the fact that Phil Maton pitched the 3rd inning. That is the only thing that I feel let down and disappointed by.
I can admit last night we were both, but I was hot and heated last night.
Like, so I was just like, I gotta let it roll. I gotta let it roll.
Like, I was tweeting in all caps.
Yeah, you were
stop. Where I actually, after now that I woke up and I like got myself together a little bit, I actually went back on Twitter and deleted most of them because I'm like, it was really unhinged. Like I was reading them back, I was like, I was unhinged.
I was cracking up at them.
I actually had several people check on me because they saw my tweets. Like it was like a wellness check.
The thing was that there's just a lot of things, but let's rewind. Let's rewind and go through the weekend kind of. And
I want to leave what I put as the bullet like for like later in the conversation because I want to like make it a whole discussion of like making it crystal clear.
Right, that's fine. Well, my ridiculous thing can be eating our feelings during this fiasco.
Go ahead.
Because it does not have to do with the Mets, my ridiculous thing, but they caused me to...
They triggered you.
They triggered me into ordering dessert. Even though I just got home from vacation, I was like, we're going to start fresh. I made such a healthy dinner. And then by the 3rd inning, I said I need a McFlurry now. So I ordered myself dessert. And let me tell you that the McFlurries have been on the decline for years because they don't actually swirl them anymore.
Nope.
They just like would put the stuff in, but at least it like when it was in that big cup, you got all the fillings all the way down to the bottom. I got that new cup.
It's like
the
milk carton.
The cardboard one.
Yeah.
And I got a regular spoon, not the spoon that goes on the spindle.
Oh.
They gave me a regular spoon, and it was just basically vanilla ice cream with M&Ms on top.
That's so disappointing.
And I was disappointed more so because I always get an Oreo McFlurry, but yesterday I was like, you know what? I haven't had an M&M McFlurry in a really long time. That was not the time to change my order.
No.
It wasn't the time because it backfired.
Yeah, I never get anything other than an Oreo when I get it. But also McFlurries, they're only one size, and they've gotten up to like $4 or $5 now. Like, are they on
they're $5, but now you could get a mini. That's what it said on DoorDash. It was like mini or none. That's what it said. Mini or none.
And was the mini like
what the hell that means?
Like you save $1?
I don't know. I don't know what that means. Also, like, what am I doing with a mini? Like, how much ice cream am I getting? And then I also got an apple.
They shrunk the normal size anyway.
I also got an apple pie. So, like, McDonald's apple pie is top notch. It will never
they're like hot pockets.
They're so hot. Always. They come out warm. They're like the perfect crust to like apple ratio. Like, it's just delicious. So anyway, I'm at McDonald's for the further decline of the McFlurry because it did not bring me joy. It just made me more aggravated.
Yeah, for sure.
I
don't disagree. And it's like, first of all, it's a miracle you even got a McFlurry. I'm surprised they didn't tell you the machine's broken when you ordered.
No, that's the milkshakes.
Well, it's the ice cream machine, which is also what they make McFlurries with.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Mine, I don't know. I've never had a problem about getting ice cream at McDonald's ever. I think.
You beat the trend because that's
I know that this is like an ongoing thing on the internet, but I do not ever remember being like maybe a milkshake one time, but I do not ever remember being denied like we used to go to McDonald's for like dollar ice cream and apple pies all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Because there was one like near my parents, like it wasn't far,
right.
So why not? You know?
Mm-hmm.
And then they opened a second one even closer, so why not?
Yeah, I've experienced it a couple of times where you go, it's usually like if it's later in the night, like then because they say the myth is like it's not really broken, the kids just don't want to clean it like right before closing.
Oh yeah.
So they'll say
cleaning an ice cream machine is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So I don't blame them.
She would know. Yeah. So
yeah, it was the worst.
Anyway, so that was your stress eating. My ridiculous thing surrounding the last day or so was that we've spoken before on this podcast about how superstitious we are about the things we wear, what we do the day leading up to the game, etc. I have to humbly admit on this podcast, I may have messed up the juju yesterday by doing something out of the ordinary.
Did you do laundry?
Well, I did do laundry, but I wasn't blaming that. I was blaming when I went to the Mets game, when I went to the game on Thursday, they were giving away Mets magnets, like just like the symbol. And I was at that block party thing. Like it was like the Mets Connect they were promoting.
Okay.
And at first I was like, oh my God, I've been looking everywhere for a car magnet. Like, this is perfect. And the guy was like, oh, well, are you set up with Mets Connect? I'm like, yeah, I'm already a member. He's like, oh, well, this is really only for like new signups. I'm like, you have like 10 magnets there. You could give me one. Nobody has to know that I already am a member. You should be thanking me.
Was your mom a member? I would have signed your mom right up.
She already signed up too. But either way, we both looked at him like, bro, give me the magnet. It's like this big. It's not like a full huge one. So he was like, all right. And he gave me it. So I was like, oh, great. Finally, I got a magnet. Like I've been waiting to get one for my car forever. So yeah. So I did think, I was like, maybe I should wait to put this magnet on my car. It hasn't been on the entire journey.
Right.
Well, yesterday on the way in the morning, I put the magnet on the car. So.
Well, it's funny that you say this. And the reason being.
Isn't this thick
yesterday...
how, like, these are the things that we're, like, guilty about? I'm like, I feel guilty about this.
Oh, wait. I actually have to get... I have a prop, too. But first, I went to Target yesterday because I had to get... Because I moved my office down here. So I needed to get curtains for the sliding glass door. So we go to Target. And, of course, I pass the Mets section. And they have 2T Mets short sleeve shirt with a big, huge heart on it that says New York Mets. And I'm like, I have to get it. I have to get it. Obviously. I was like, it's $15. I have to get it. And then I'm like, I shouldn't be buying Mets gear right now because this is going to be a bad omen. This is going to be the bad omen. But all day I told myself they were losing. When I woke up to the news that the Yankees won, I knew they were losing. Like, I knew it. Like, I told myself all day long, they are losing this game. So anyway, then I came home and I painted a pumpkin. Please hold. Let me show you my pumpkin.
Oh, yes. Let's see the pumpkin. And audience, I apologize. I'm going to be fixing my hair so much because I don't know what's going on with it. I blew dry it and it's like all over the place. I don't know. She literally went outside. Oh, okay.
Okay, this is my first time really, like, painting a pumpkin. Like, okay. We didn't do these things. But, I made a grimace pumpkin.
Wait, that's actually really good.
I know. And then I did OMG on this side.
Of course.
And as it was drying, I said, I don't know if that was a good idea.
You got all three Mets weird things on one thing.
What's the third thing?
The playoff pumpkin.
Oh, yeah. Didn't think about the playoff pumpkin.
Yeah.
Yeah. What, Addie?
It's so good.
Oh, yes. Your pumpkin's outside and Daddy's pumpkin's outside. Yeah. A little obsessed with the pumpkins. Anyway.
Obviously.
So I made a Mets pumpkin. Alec made a Jets pumpkin. And then we just have a glob of colors pumpkin.
A beautiful masterpiece.
So that was that. So we did that yesterday. And, like, after I did the Grimace pumpkin, I was like, oh, this came out so good. And I really hope that I didn't just jinx them because I painted Grimace on a pumpkin. But, like, it's just, like, I had to. Like, I was just in my feels. Like, I felt like, okay, this is either going to be the last game or, like, we're going to make it to game 7. So we just need, like, good vibes.
Yeah.
Either way.
I was kind of confident. Like, everybody all day kept going, like, how you doing? How you feeling? Good luck. As if, like, I was playing in the game personally. And, like, I was like, okay, thank you. But, like, I was weirdly confident thinking they were going to make a game 7. Like, I thought, like, okay, if we lost game 7 because our pitching was just completely done, like, I'd be happy we got to the very last game possible. Mm-hmm. But then as obviously last night unfolded, I was like, no, it was never meant to be. But you know what? Game 6 is not that horrible either.
No, it's not. And that's the thing. Like, it just feels worse because this is the story of our lives. Like, This is the shit that happens to us. And the Dodgers are a great team.
They're the best team in baseball.
They're the best team in baseball. And when we had the best record in baseball, we lost to a wild card team. So in that sense, that was disappointing. But, like, I woke up today just being, like, sad that the fun was over.
Right.
Not, like, mad that they lost because, like, we weren't supposed to be here. And we had this was definitely, I know we talk about 2015 all of the time, but this was more fun than 2015, and, like, we didn't go to as many games. Just the vibes in general were, like, there.
It was definitely
and we both got to go to a playoff game, so I feel like in retrospect we really did pretty well for ourselves this year.
We did. We can't have any regrets. We definitely had a fun season. Like I said,
it's just aggravating. Like,
was going through the stages of grief. For sure. And last night was my anger stage for sure. And after I tweeted a million things about how much I hate Carlos Mendoza and the bonehead decisions he made and this and that, I looked at it this morning and I'm like, but he got us here. Like,
this is my thing. I like, so I knew that you were angry in the moment. Like,
yeah.
I don't agree with things that, like, I don't agree with Phil Maton pitching any of
I
these,
saw
any of these postseason games.
Yeah.
Any of them. But overall, I think his management style and coaching abilities throughout the regular season were really good. But, like, again, you're facing a really hard team. So, like, I don't know, if we were the coach, like, yeah, it's easy for us to say shit from our couch, but, like, at the same time, I would not put in Phil Maton. Don't say that. But, like, me, like, I was, like, saying, like, why don't we pitch in this person? Why are we doing this? Why aren't we doing that? You know what I mean? Because he was always doing that. Like, if somebody wasn't hitting, he was subbing them out right away. And I just feel like he didn't do that in the series with the Dodgers.
Yeah. I saw on Instagram when I was scrolling Instagram this morning, because I avoided it last night because I just couldn't keep seeing the Ohtani Judge things over and over again.
I know.
But this morning I was on Instagram, and of course there was a couple that were like, oh, shout out to Carlos Mendoza, like manager of the year candidate in his first year, took them to the NLCS. And like one of the comments was like, there was some guy, I laughed so hard, it was like, he really did overall such a great job as manager. The one thing we have to investigate was Phil Maton's holding his family at gunpoint. Like, that's the only thing I have to say. Like, because there's no...
Literally.
He made good decisions otherwise, but, like, Phil Maton, like, what is going on there? Like, why was he so obsessed with him?
Like, multiple times. Like, multiple times. Like, I'm sorry, when we brought back Jeff McNeil, like, I know Adam Ottavino didn't pitch in the postseason yet, but at that point, we should have said, bye-bye, Phil Maton. We're going to keep Adam and whoever the other guy that they were thinking about getting rid of was. But, like, no, Logan.
Young.
There we go. Don't ask me where I got Logan from. Anyway. So, yeah, I mean, like, in reality, the miserable Mets turned out to be not so miserable.
I know. But, like, then I get not angry because I'm over my anger. I just get sad because, like, you're right. Like, this is probably the most fun season the Mets have had. Unexpectedly, we were never supposed to be like this. Like, the beginning of June, we were miserable. Like, we were miserable Mets. And, like, how quickly it turned around and all the stupid little fun things that are on that pumpkin, like, made such a great season. And I think what made it so great was that it was just so unexpected. And that's what, when people, the cheesy saying is Mets fans have more fun. And it's true because, like, other teams that are, cough, cough, expected to win, like, they don't enjoy their runs. They're always bitching about what should have been, what could have been, which of course I naturally as a fan always do, but like they don't enjoy the run for what it is, which is just like all the quirky little, like they call us cheesy and corny for all the things that we enjoy, but like it's a sport.
But who was making the memes of all the cheesy things that we enjoy? Like, my thing is that, like, it's frustrating as a fan, and I said this morning, it's like the entire world against Mets fans that are having fun. And, like, as soon as our fun ends or as soon as we lose, it's like, haha, see, you suck. Like, no, we don't suck because we still made it all the way. Like, yeah, okay, like, yes, are we still waiting? Yeah. But, like, so did Boston, so did the Cubs, and they don't get as much hate as, like, we get. They don't. I'm sorry. They don't. Like,
every time I think about how the Cubs had to wait 108 years.
I know. I was thinking about that last night. I was like, I'm going to be like that lady that was, like, waiting and waiting and waiting for them to win.
I'm telling you now, I'm not living to be 108. So the Mets better get on it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I have so many, like, just so many emotions. But, like, again, I'm not, like, I feel like I'm just sad that it's over, obviously, but I'm more annoyed because of, like, it's just you don't want to deal with the bullshit comments that everybody's going to make. And this is what growing up in the 2000s was like bullied for being a Mets fan. You know what I mean? Like, just it was never ending. It was like, why do you like them? Why do this? Like, I had a child. Like, I didn't even have my child yet, and people were like, please tell me you're not going to make them a Mets fan. Like, what else would they be? What else?
Right.
Let me know. Like, You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. I shouldn't say I don't care. But if the Mets never won a World Series and we had 17 more seasons like this in my lifetime, like, how could I be mad about that?
Right, we'd enjoy it. Like, we'd still enjoy it, end of the day.
Right. Would we, like, obviously we want to win. You know what I mean? But, yeah. Wow, you look like a serial
It's
killer.
a creepy shadow. Very Halloween-y.
It's just Alec making coffee to run tomorrow, guys. Sorry.
Yes, but looking forward to the future. Pete Alonso, we don't know what's going to happen with him. I am perfectly fine with him walking.
I agree.
Everyone's
First
like,
of all,
oh, he hit that home run.
When he hit the foul ball off his foot last night, I was like, why do you have to embarrass us at the worst moments, Pete? Why?
Like, why don't you just trip over your own bat one more time?
No, literally, the amount of people that I texted Peter to last night in all capital letters multiple times was not okay.
Yeah, if that was his last at bat as a New York Met, then he went out the way we known him, which was swinging at a ball down in the dirt, low and away.
Right. And being a total doofus.
So that's Pete. I think that everyone else, I'm fine with keeping.
I mean, I hope they sign.
Phil Maton.
I hope they sign Shamanaya for longer.
Yes.
I really like him. Like, I just like him as a person. Like, I like him on the team. Yeah. Jesse Winker, I need for the vibes and the vibes only. I'm his biggest fan.
He was literally born to be a Met. Like, it's crazy that we used to hate him. Like, we just needed him on our team, and that's it.
I really don't even remember hating him, honestly. I don't remember it. I don't
know why. We only
hated
him, like, when he came to town, because he was, like, you know, like, the idiot.
Right, but I don't even, like, I like, that's just, like, a vague memory in my, like, in the back pocket. Like, I don't remember it. And now that he's on my team, I want him to stay on my team.
Yeah, him. Gotta stay.
Especially his laying in the grass, meditating, whatever that is. Like,
sign me up for that. Funny.
I love it. He said he does that before every single game.
I know. And even him, the last at bat he had, even though he struck out or got out or whatever, I did love his last at bat, when he came up with the bases loaded one of those innings. And even though he ended up striking out and not scoring the runs that we needed, like, the way that, like, they changed the pitcher, and, like, the way he was, like, deeply thinking and, like, getting into it, like, he just cares. Like, he's not one of those people that just, like, are staring into the abyss and you look at them like they could barely care to be there. Like, like, you can tell he cares. And that makes
it's not like JT Martinez getting up and just, like, being like, all right, let's see what happens here.
Yeah, he's gone, hopefully.
He was just the thing is that, like, when he interviews, I do enjoy him, but I'm just like, can you come back as, like, some other position? Coach. Yeah, be a bench coach. We like your vibes, but we don't need you in the lineup.
Another thing to be very excited about as Mets fans is that Mark Vientos and Francisco Alvarez are here for a very long time, and
thank God.
They are a very bright future. So that's also something to look forward to. I'm so happy Alvarez finally got back to normal.
Yes, same. I read something this morning too that was like, the reason why we all don't know how to react is because this is usually, like, our one shot in a decade, but, like, it probably isn't.
This was our rebuild year.
Right. So, you know, like, even if we don't make it again next year, I don't think that we're going to be waiting the 9-year waiting period that we've had from 06 to 15 and 15 to now. I think that it's going to be, like, few between. Like, we should be contending
for the next couple of years.
Whether that means, like, even if we only make it to the wild card, like, I mean, obviously I would like more than that, but.
And the Braves, for my wish for 2025, can the frickin' Atlanta Braves have one goddamn bad season? Can they just, like, be in 4th place for, like, 1 year? I don't want to be worrying about them the last week of September every single year the rest of my life.
I just want to say that my thought, yes, I agree with that, but also my thought process was the other day that, if you remember, when the Mets were miserable and in 3rd place, I said, don't forget when the 3rd place Phillies won the World Series. And last week I was like, if this happens, our podcast really is fucking psychic. Like,
True. Oh, but anyway, that is the Mets 2024 season. I feel like we will segue because this has almost been an entire Mets podcast, but we need to finish it off. We have a lot of thoughts on this. The number one question we will answer, the number one question that everyone's been asking us for. Oh, well, now that the Mets are out, you want a New York team to win, right? So you're going to root for the Yankees instead of the Dodgers? No.
Honestly, I'd rather the team that I lose to win so that I know that, like, it was worth losing.
The Dodgers are the best team in baseball this year. They beat us. There wasn't much animosity or, like, grit. Like, it wasn't, like, angry. Like, there wasn't, like, a lot of animosity.
A good team.
They're a good team that beat us, fair and square.
You don't score double-digit runs
every game.
5 out of 6 games because you're, for no reason. Like,
there were no bad umpire calls. There was nothing like that was like the deciding
maybe
of the
some
game.
Questionable like strikes, but other than that,
but not to decide the game. Right. No, nobody's legs were broken this time around. Like, it was overall a pretty even.
I was really hoping that we were gonna beat the Dodgers just to have like a Chase Utley revenge tour. Honestly,
I know. Well, we beat them that year, so it was an instant revenge.
No, I understand, but if we would have taken out the Phillies and the Dodgers, like, he would have been like steamrolling in London.
His gray hair. Yeah. So the Dodgers are the best team in baseball. I personally, like, if we're talking about the Yankees this year, they don't even deserve to be where they are right now. Okay. And I'm welcoming discourse to this podcast. If you listen to it and you disagree, but I've talked to many Yankee fans in my life recently, and they would agree with me. This Yankees team has no business being in the World Series. Okay. Their trajectory was the opposite of us this year. We started horrible. We got hot. The Yankees started great. They got so cold the end of the season, but lucky for them, it didn't really matter because the rest of the American League was absolute trash. Absolute trash.
Speaking of the American and National League, I asked Alec this yesterday, but like, now that we all have DHs and like we've gone into like this interleague play where we're not playing the Phillies and the Nationals and the Braves every other week, what's the point of the American League and the National League at this point? You know what I mean? Like, what's the point?
Well, it needs to be 2 different conferences. Otherwise, how do you bring them together for a championship every year? It's the same with football. There's 2 conferences.
I didn't really think that out. I'm just saying. I was just wondering what the difference is. Okay.
You need 2 conferences. That is nothing. Football has 2 conferences, and there's no difference between them.
I know. I guess. Ugh.
Also, if you have
like, this is why I can't drink wine on this podcast.
Yeah, you keep getting yawny.
I know, I become a yawn monster.
But yeah, so the Yankees have played they've had the easiest road to the World Series I've ever seen in my life. They played, as I said, which I'm going to get canceled for, 2 paraplegic teams to get to the World Series. Okay. The Royals and the Indians/Guardians. Okay. That was how you had to get to the World Series. We had to play the Phillies and the Dodgers, the 2 best teams in baseball. We kicked the Phillies' butts, but it took a lot out of us to do that. Hence why the Dodgers did that to us. And the Brewers, who are also a very good team. And the Dodgers had to beat the Padres, which were an even better team than the Brewers. So, like, National League is just stacked this year.
Right. It's kind of like the tables have turned, where, like...
Yeah.
Because the American League was always the better league.
Yeah.
Like, always. And,
I was just thinking
I mean, I was kind of thankful to play the Dodgers instead of the Padres, but I think that's just, like, straight up PTSD from, like, 2022.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, I personally will not be rooting for the Yankees. Absolutely not. And like, I'll admit it, Alec thinks that I'm ridiculous for saying it, but like, I don't really think, like, I didn't want to play them.
No.
Because again, the 2000 World Series was brutal in the second grade.
And this is like this is the point that I wanted to make crystal
Or
clear.
third grade.
I wanted to make this crystal clear. Like, for all you Yankee fans that are like, why we rooted for the Mets, you guys were a lot of fun this year. Why wouldn't you root for the Yankees? Why wouldn't
That's
you
your
have wanted a
perspective.
Subway Series?
You should not be rooting for us. I don't want you to root for us.
Okay, but you can root for us because you've never had this whole big brother, little brother mentality in your lifetime that it's not even like, okay, the media, whatever, like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm not going to turn this super dramatic, but I will because it's us and it's the podcast. We were literally abused our entire childhood. And if you don't see that for what it is, like growing up as a mentality, your formative years, being told your team sucks, your team's the little brother, your team always acts like it's their World Series when they've never been to one. When you say that over and over again, when you have to sit as a child in an elementary school with there's 2 other people in your class because everybody else is at a fucking ticker tape parade years and years and years in a row, I don't want to hear it, okay? It is a traumatic milestone core moment of our lives that will take centuries of our children to undo that, okay?
Well, yeah, that. And like, I remember, I don't know if our school had this, but our school always had like Mets Yankees Day. And like the Mets fans dressed as the Mets and like the Yankees fans dressed as the Yankees. And like, this is how they taught us like polling.
Yep.
And do you want to know how many? There was always only 4 Mets fans in the photo.
Yep.
And in second grade, I will admit this on the podcast, my dad was so annoying and he was like, you just want to be a Yankee fan. You want to be a Yankee fan. Like I was getting bullied by my own father that I wanted to be a Yankee fan. So I was like, you know what, Dad? I think Derek Jeter's cute. And then one of our family friends found out about this. So he got me a Derek Jeter shirt and a Derek Jeter hat because he worked at Yankee Stadium and he bought me like the 9s. And that year, I was so over being bullied on Mets Yankees Day that I pulled the whole, I root for both. I'm just going to like both, right? And I went to school in Yankees apparel. I can't even believe I'm saying that on live air.
I'm disgusted.
Anyway, but, well, that was very short-lived because I wore it for the photo. And then never again did I ever wear, like, I wore it for, like, maybe, like, a 3-month span. And then my dad got pissed and he was like, fine, you're not going to Shea Stadium with us when we meet the players. And my sister got to go instead. And that taught me my lesson that I was a Met fan because I cried and sobbed on my nanny's couch that I didn't get to go. So I just needed, like, to really realize how much I love the Mets because I was over it. I was over it. Like
bullying.
It was literally a form of torture because everywhere else I said that I liked the Mets, but just for this photo, I like went to school in this like shirt that I don't even know if I ever wore it like until that point. Like I just had it to like annoy my dad.
Like we can joke about it now because we're adults, but like the acrostic poem of my entire team sucks. Being told that by Yankees fans, you know what the Mets stand for? My entire team sucks. Growing up, I wanted to punch every single person I spoke to. And like, when you grow up as an adult, now that we're 32 years old, like that sticks with you to the point where I will not ever root for the Yankees because it has nothing to do with the team. Giancarlo Stanton is a gorgeous looking man. He's got a nice butt, hits a lot of home runs. Great for him. That new pitcher they have, Luke Weaver, cutest human being on the planet. Love Juan Soto. I think he's hilarious. Aaron Judge, But the team, no sweat off its back. But you fans, you may be all nice now, adults, and you may be saying, I want the Mets to do well because you guys, I want to see you win. As children, you tortured us, and that is why we will never, ever do it.
You know how many people that I literally know that have, like, bullied me for being a Met fan or have, like, said the words, whatever, and then on their Facebook statuses, they're like, wow, what a year the Mets had. And I'm like, I'm sorry, am I in an alternate universe? No.
That's why absolutely it's patronizing.
It's so patronizing, and it's annoying, and, like, I'm just over it, and I will not root for them, and I'm sorry if you think that that's wrong.
for people to go, oh, it's a shame they lost. I really would have loved to see a Subway Series World Series. And somebody that I was talking to in person yesterday said something, and it bothered me, and it shouldn't bother me because not everybody's a freak like we are. But she said something like, oh yeah, because like, right, the Mets and the Yankees, like, when's the last time they played each other? Like 2003 or something? And I'm like, it was 2000. But like the fact that she didn't even know the year just goes to show.
But as a Yankee fan.
Well, because it just goes to show Mets fans remember each year and moment like it's yesterday because it's a traumatic moment. To them, it was just another year they won the World Series.
Right.
So we will be rooting for the Dodgers.
Right.
They're also just the better team. So if you're a fan of baseball, you should be rooting for the Dodgers anyway, just because they have the harder way to get here.
I'd really rather fork my eyes out than root for either of them, but
yeah, and I hate saying that. I hate saying that I want to root for the Dodgers, but even as a 32-year-old woman, if I, in a week and a half, well, I guess it's like 2 weeks away, need to see a front page of a newspaper with pinstripes and confetti going down Broadway, I will have to hear the words
28-time world champion.
Right, because now the 27 rings become 28, and I can't deal. The number 27 triggers me. Okay, we could be talking about anything in life, and if you say 27, I'm triggered. Okay, so if that answers your question, friends that are Yankees fans, we will not be rooting for the Yankees. Don't ever ask us. It's never going to happen.
And in no way, shape, or form would I want you to root for the Mets or expect you to.
When you say, oh, but we're rooting for the Mets. Okay, that's great for you. We, one, don't want you rooting for the Mets. And two, like, it's patronizing. Like, root for your own team. Don't feel bad for me. I've lived my whole life like this. Now that you see that our team is more fun than your team, you want to hop on the bandwagon of, I would love any New York team winning. You were not like that your whole life. And we had some pretty fun Mets teams growing up. Okay, not as fun as this one.
Does everybody remember the 2000 Mets bleaching their hair? Because I do.
The 1999 and 2000 Mets were fantastic. That's obviously what sold us on our childhood lives. Like, that was it. Mike Piazza, that team, like, we were sold. But, like, this team this year has been the most fun. But, like, there were fun teams back then, too, and you were calling them ass because you were in your prime of championships being assholes.
Right.
So.
The other thing is, like, again, with the PTSD, like, the amount of, like, Met shirts that I saw at the farm last week that we went to, I was, like, honestly having a jump scare. I was like,
yeah,
these kids there's a lot of kids. There's more Mets, like, shirts than Yankee shirts. And I, like, didn't know what to do because I was like, wow, good for them. Like, you know,
I know. Like,
it's so hard to explain. Also, so I thought of something that I forgot to tell you in the end, but Phil Maton, I saw a tweet about him, and it was like, it says, Spirit Halloween now is selling the scariest costume to ever exist. Phil Maton in the playoffs.
You know what drove me crazy about Phil Maton? And this poor guy, like, I don't really care, but
he looks like a child.
When he pitches and he gives up a fucking bomb, he looks like this. Like, nothing going on. There's no life behind those eyes. And he looks like he's confused where he is. And I'm like, you are in the playoffs. Maybe try pitching. He literally gives up a bomb and then just stares, like, into the dugout, like, what are you looking at? What are you looking at? What's going on behind those eyes? I can't. Sorry. I wish you luck on the next team you go to. I'm sure you're going to pull a typical ex-Met thing where you're going to go somewhere and pitch a Cy Young fucking year. I'm sure. Okay? So enjoy the rest of your life. Goodbye.
I mean, relievers don't win the Cy Young, so at least we have that on our side.
Whatever you call the Cy Young of relieving. No, because he'll turn into Seth Lugo and he'll become a starting pitcher and then he'll win the Cy Young. Seth Lugo was not that bad on the Mets, so I can't be mad about Seth Lugo.
He was.
We wanted to keep him and he left.
But David Peterson does deserve a lot of props for this year.
Yeah.
The man turned it around. There was plenty of years where we were cursing him up and down, came out of the bullpen, stud.
God.
So thank you. Oh, and one more shocking piece of information. John Mayer is a huge Mets fan.
All of a sudden, John Mayer, we hate him out of solidarity with our girl, but he's scoring a lot of points in our department as of late.
It was so nicely written.
I actually teared up. I'm not going to lie.
I couldn't read the whole thing because I was getting an email.
And then I checked, of course, all the likes like a stalker, and like Lindor's wife liked it. Like everybody liked Tia, Alex, like everybody liked it.
This is the start of the 2025 season. John Mayer's our mascot.
Apparently, John Mayer is a diehard Mets fan. I don't know how we never knew this.
Literally, no.
Yeah.
Maybe he had a traumatic childhood and he was afraid to say that he liked the New York Mets.
Honestly, it explains a lot of his actions. He was just hurt and lashing out. I can't. Oh, man. Well, yeah, I didn't realize I should have figured this. We're going to have to, well, what are we going to do when we have to go back to like regular topics now?
I don't know. We're going to have to think of content.
I know. Because this is like,
well, don't worry.
this
You
was
still have the
one
shitty
bullet
Jets,
point.
everyone.
One bullet point turned into a 50-minute conversation.
I know. But that's the art of being friends with us. We can take anything and turn it into chaos.
Well, I hope that our explanation, a very long-winded explanation, has cleared up all the questions from the other side of the aisle.
Yes. And I hope you all thought that I made a very nice pumpkin.
That pumpkin was great. Actually, like, okay, how'd you do the grimace? Like, did you trace it? Like, how'd you get that?
No, I just pulled up a picture on my phone. Hold on.
You did it
on
by
my phone. Yeah, like I tried to draw on the pumpkin, but it really wasn't working out. Like I tried to like draw like the arc.
Oh.
I just kind of winged it. But what happened was I bought washable paint because obviously I have a 2-year-old. Like I didn't need to be using acrylic paint on my hardwood floors and like have acrylic paint on my
But you realize. Go ahead.
And so when you get the washable paint, like it doesn't really like stick to the pumpkin that well. So then I had to like I was watching her and then she was like globbing it on and it was staying. So I was like, okay, let me just like add some more. But then when I went to like do the layers of like his eyebrows and his eyes and whatever, it was like moving the paint a little bit. But I have to say, I was very impressed with myself because like I used to like have some artistic ability, but it has really like left me like gone with the wind. So I was proud of myself.
No, I'm very impressed with it. That's a much better grimace than I would have thought you could have made. I didn't know your artistic side.
Thank you.
You've never shown it off to me before. There's things I learn new every day.
No, well, I mean, like I said, I thought it was gone with the wind. Well, just brought it back.
And just know, though, if you use washable paint, don't leave it outside if it's going to rain. I hope you know that.
No, I'm going to bring them inside. We just had them outside so they would dry.
I was going to say, because, like, the rain will wash it away.
Yeah, no. I wasn't going to put them outside anyway because I didn't, like, spray them or anything. I don't want the animals to eat them. So, yeah.
Did you take a picture of that pumpkin and share it to the Mets?
No, I will.
You should.
I will. I just, like, I felt like the aftermath, like, it wasn't appropriate today to do that, so I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah, just put it on Twitter.
Here's the grimace pumpkin that I made before Game 6.
Well, it's been real, and
you guys don't have to listen to us talk about them for 74 days?
I don't know.
I saw a tweet with it before.
Well, I'm sure we'll have some discussions in between once winter meetings start and some trades and signings start happening.
Yeah.
Do you think, what's the odds percentage-wise that we get Juan Soto?
I don't know. See, my other problem is that I always complained that the Yankees used to buy all the people that would just beat them, and that's why they won. And now, like, we could be those people. And I'm like, do I want to be those people? No, because, like, look at us. Like, look at how good we did. You know, like, do we need Juan Soto? Is he gonna add value to the chaos?
Yes.
Like, I don't know.
The answer is
just
yes.
Okay.
He's 25 years old. He's already like best friends with Francisco Alvarez. Like, my problem is, I thought, yes, now that we are the team that could just buy anybody we want, I almost thought that it was a fair assessment that we were definitely getting him. And that home run he hit to send them on, I feel like kind of solidified him in Yankee land.
They might keep him now. Yeah.
Like now he's the hero.
Yeah. I don't really have an opinion on it yet.
But honestly, we'll just see. We can't have a wish list. We can't turn into the people that are just like,
all I have to say is I'm so thankful that the Will Ponds are gone. That's all I care about. So I care about.
Cohen, if you're watching this, thank you for telling me in London to just keep believing, and you never know what could happen, because that was literally the turning point of the season, was that week.
It was.
And like, is he psychic? Or was he just like betting?
Should we have him on the pod?
I'm gonna reach out to my BFF Alex and see if they want to be on the podcast. She does follow me on Instagram, so
great.
Yeah, so she might view our stories every now and then.
Anyway,
never know.
We'll have to look.
All right, friends. Anyway. Well, thank you for following us along this season. I hope you laughed at the things we laughed at, the things we were upset about, and got a little insight into what it is to be a Mets fan if you weren't really sure yourself.
Yeah, and also Yankees and Dodgers.
Dodgers in 6. I'll say.
All right, thanks for being our friend.
Bye, guys.
Hi, friends. Wow, you listened to the whole thing. Thanks for listening. Please be sure to subscribe on YouTube and your favorite podcast platform and share it with your friends. Ratings, reviews, and comments help as well. See you next week. Thanks for being our friend.